Tonight, we take a look at the Wichita music scene and some of the creatives behind it, as well as how film festivals nationwide are responding to dwindling ticket sales in the wake of COVID-19. All this and more coming up tonight on Grizzly News. Hello, I'm Leo Larson.
And I'm Russell Horning.
And this is Grizzly News. The music venues here in Wichita have historically been unaccommodating to artists, underpaying them and restricting their audiences to people 21 and over.
In response, local musicians in the Wichita area have taken live performance into their own hands to produce and fund their own independent concerts. From house shows to rented venues, artists are working to revitalize the culture here in Wichita.
We've got Stephen Villa live on location to speak with Ryan Cruz, a musician here in Wichita, about why he chose to hold the release party for his new album Belmont at Monica House, a local venue for musicians and artists alike. Take it away, Stephen.
Thank you, Leo. Now I'm live at Monica House hours before the release party for Belmont, and we're going to talk to Ryan Cruz about his inspiration for the album and why he threw the party at Monica House.
So the album at its heart is a collaboration album. It's a compilation of a bunch of different talent, underground talent really, like hip-hop, R&B talent from Wichita. So my goal would be to inspire other people to collaborate and make other projects kind of like that, and it's in that kind of vein.
Ryan hopes that the album's release party will popularize the idea of house venues to more people in Wichita. House shows have recently become a viable alternative to bars and clubs for local musicians.
I mean, Wichita, house show culture is it's such a predominant thing in the music scene. The only problem is people move or they rent out the place to a business or something like that. And so the houses kind of pop up, do a lot of shows and disappear. But Monica House is promising because it's an art exhibit. They've been doing stuff for a long time. They don't plan to move. They plan to keep this as an event space for artists, by artists. So it's super inspirational, and I just want to see more house shows.
We also got a chance to speak with the owner of Monica House, Monica Maddox, about the relevance of house venues in Wichita. One of Monica's main goals was to create an all-ages, non-alcoholic environment that everyone could enjoy.
I think that everybody should have a place to go to, or have places that they're allowed. Not just if you're 21. We also have a lot of friends that, are in recovery from addiction. And so, having a space that is free from all of those pressures where people can come and just, have fun. Also, for younger people that aren't old enough to get into the bars, but still want to perform or still want to go see live shows.
Speaking of the art scene, let's take a look at an organization revered nationwide when it comes to the independent film industry. Tallgrass was a thriving film festival before COVID put it and the rest of in-person theater's relevancy in question. Something had to be done to keep the industry alive and accessible to an audience that didn't feel comfortable leaving their homes.
We spoke with the executive director of Tallgrass Film Festival, Melanie Lynn Addington, to hear about how the organization has adapted their approach in order to thrive in these trying times.
A lot of festivals went virtual only last year. Luckily, Wichita has a very tech-friendly community that embraced virtual last year. So we actually got a lot of requests and demands to continue it. I'm very big on accessibility, and not everyone can go to a space. And so I think we'll probably always have hybrid for the future.
Independent festivals have been working towards adapting to audiences' demands for a streaming alternative to theaters post-COVID. In 2020, theatrical entertainment accounted for only 15% of the local entertainment revenue, compared to 43% in 2019.
I think the ones that will be the most successful will realize that they need to keep transitioning, and they needed to before the pandemic because of streaming. You really need to eventize why it matters to be in a space together. And I think community is something that you can never really recreate on your couch. So I think people want that still in some way. It's just a matter of being more clever in how you tell people about it.
As you can see, Wichita's art scene is beginning to thrive, thanks to the efforts of passionate individuals who are paving the way for art to take a front seat in ICT culture.
We'd like to give a big thank you to Ryan, Melanie, and Monica for coming onto the show and giving their thoughts on their respective roles in the greater Wichita community. And thank you for watching Grizzly News. I'm Russell Horning.
I'm Leo Larson.
Signing off.